forget my drink again? No, I got it. Hey, Amy. How you doing, sister? Oh, my earbuds. One second. Okay. I gotta share this too. Hold on. I'm gonna drop. Woohoo! It's Labor Day. I now know it's Labor Day. My Diamond Mastermind girls know. Okay, one second. Let me share this, y'all. I have some awesome crap to share with you guys. I'm actually really excited to share this stuff with you guys. All right, let me find this. We're building the business page because I don't know if you guys heard, but apparently they're really cracking down, which whoever knows what's really true or not. Like I could pretend to you that I'm some expert who understands Facebook world, but like, if I'm just being really honest, like who the hell knows? Like sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a big deal, sometimes it's not, and you never freaking really know, right? So building the business page as opposed to the personal page. So not making offers on the Facebook personal page. That's a thing right now, just so you know. All secrets revealed. That's a thing. So now we're just doing it on the business page. So because I haven't spent much time in the business page, I'm going to share it, which is something you guys should do too. So I can't give you too much information or insights on how Facebook is doing this or why or if, and even like I have some pretty high level friends who are in this world and they're like, yeah, we don't really know. It's being said that it could be a problem and you could just get booted, but this has been a rule for a long time and people don't really follow it and most people aren't getting booted. And I've heard that it also matters how much engagement you have and if they're gonna shut you down or not, or if you're being spammy, then they will, like all those kind of things, all the stuff I've heard, right? So that's that. So it is important. I'm not gonna say it's not important. That's why we're shifting and doing a little more stuff on the business page now. The most common mistakes top coaches make. I cannot wait to share this with you guys and how to avoid it. Share to the personal page. Poof. All right, one more place. I'll let you guys jam out while I share it. Okay, it's shared. Thank you for your patience. Okay, where are you guys from? If you're on the live or if you're watching the replay, comment below and tell me where in the world you're from. I've been loving learning where all my clients are from. There's so many more people from Canada than I realized, and Australia. There's a lot of Australians and a lot of Canadians, which I'm super excited to find out and learn about. And also, I would love to know how you're currently feeling in your business. Like, how is it going? How are you feeling in your entrepreneurial journey? See, Ontario, Canada. Amy, I already knew you were in Canada. There are a lot of Canadians on here. I love my Canadians. And you know what's funny? You want to know the biggest thing I see with the Canadians, what's going on? I watch a pattern. So like, for those of you who are new to me, I'll just like do a little quick glimpse. A pattern is just basically some BS that you have going on that like started as you were a kid. You believed something about yourself, the world, or people around you, and you believed something that's some shenanigans and it's not really true and is causing a ruckus in your life now. So it's really important and valuable to be able to recognize what those patterns are. And patterns can be cultural for sure. In America, one of the biggest patterns is like, if you actually take care of yourself and you do things for yourself and you give yourself what you need, then you're selfish and you really should be more like Mother Teresa. That is a crappy pattern that's in America. One of the Canadian patterns that is like definitely throughout most of Canada is this academia perfectionism thing that goes on. Like, I have to be academic, and if I'm woo or if I'm spiritual, then it's kind of like it needs to be provable and it needs to be academic based and it really needs to be perfect and it needs to be businessy, and there's really a lack of freedom for self-expression in this kind of format in a business, which is really amazing to watch. It's been consistent with every single Canadian client that I've ever had. And then the Australian clients, it's like a whole different thing. It's really funny. It's funny to watch how cultures have their own set of limitations or belief systems that run throughout it. So it's really amazing. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. Where are the rest of you guys from? Drop below and then let me know, how are you feeling in this journey of building your business? I get so much, like oftentimes I'll create content based off what you guys share with me on like, what are you struggling with? What are you feeling like? What is the big, disbelief that you have going on? I just happened to notice in one of my groups, someone posted that they have this belief, if I'm not coaching coaches or supporting other coaches, then I can't charge high-end prices, whether that's for a product or you're the product and you're a coach, or you're any kind of leader or teacher, or whatever it is that your niche is. If you're a book writer, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, right? So one of the limiting beliefs is like, if I'm not a business coach or if I'm not coaching other coaches, I can't charge high-end prices. Do you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I just happened to glance at that before I came on here. Have you guys ever thought that before? Hashtag yes in the comments if you've thought this before. It is total and utter BS, but it will be true because you say it's true. So if you're believing it's true, then your actions that you take will back that up. I began as a health coach, and I definitely believed all the patterns that health coaches believe when I started that. And this is not stuff that top coaches actually believe. So this is the stuff that top coaches actually work through, but I'm going to share with you the things that top coaches actually fall into and how for you to avoid that. So you get to just skip all the steps, because why the fuck not? Why wouldn't you skip all the steps, right? So by the way, that reminds me, I just launched a new program. It's a 28-day intensive with Craig and I, up-leveled on command. The link is in, or it's actually just PM me, but the information is above on the image. I can post that below later for you guys too. So if you're interested in doing a high-level intensive one-on-one full access to Craig and I, just let me know, PM me, I'll give you the information on that. Okay, so one of the biggest patterns is I can't charge high-end prices. I don't know enough, I'm not good enough yet, I don't have enough, whatever credibility for this. I don't have like some kind of degrees and all these other things behind this and all those like perfectionism bullshitty things, right? And so unless I'm coaching other coaches, I can't charge high-end prices. But I charged high-end prices as a health coach well before I was doing business coaching. The reason I became a business coach is because I had such success as a health coach that people were wondering how I had that success, and they wanted me to help them, and then I just had so much fun doing it that I transitioned into a business coach. So in 4 seconds, we just listed like 20 different things. Tell me your biggest limiting belief. It will create content around this, right? That's how I do it. Like I learn like, oh, this is the crazy stuff they're telling themselves and they need support with that. And then I create support with that or write a bunch of blogs around that to support you guys, right? So in the comments below, drop like, what is the running thing that you have going on in your head that is like, this is why I can't be successful and make a lot of money. Sometimes it's around, I can't because of some limiting thing. And sometimes it's can't because then I'll be something bad. Those are two very common ones. While you guys are dropping that in the comments, I'm going to get you the information on the new group because I'm so freaking excited about it. Woo! Of course, because I only do things that I'm super excited about. Who the hell's going to do stuff that they don't want to do? Lots of people. Stop. Stop doing that. How about that? Tell me your limiting crap going on. And then we're going to get into what the top coaches are doing. And having that level of insight to be able to foresee ahead of yourself that way is so powerful. Just like it's so powerful to be able to recognize your own pattern. This is why we have coaches, because they get to track the BS that you tell yourself, and they get to call you out on it because they get to know you and you stay with them, and then they get to track with you. Okay. All right, I've posted it in the comments for you guys so that I don't forget. All right. Okay, are you ready for this? The top downfalls that I see the higher level coaches doing. Number one, they speak to the same people for too long. So I have, clients and stuff that have hit their 6 figures now. They're having, they've had 30K months, stuff like that. And one of the biggest patterns that I watch with them is they stay they expand and grow. They're invested with me. They're just growing so fast. They're hitting numbers, but yet they keep their message the same. And so what happens is when they try to outgrow this and shift to the new place, they keep their message the same at the same place, and they don't create space for themselves to actually grow with their message to the world. Which is the same thing I see with a lot of new coaches, especially ones coming out as health coaches and following scripts and doing this kind of stuff. And they don't actually want to do what it is they're doing, but they believe that I've only been trained to do this, I can only do this. And they don't recognize the gift within themselves and the deep message that's trying to come out to the world, and they don't give it permission. That is one of the patterns I see with the high-level coaches. They're afraid to stop doing one-on-ones. They're too afraid to stop doing one-on-ones. They're afraid to let their message change and come out, and for them to stop doing like some technical thing that they learned that they've built success on and actually shift it into something they're a lot more excited about now that they've grown to this level. That is a big hold up. You are going to be held back for a long freaking time. That only makes sense, right? You guys see that makes sense. If you're growing so rapidly and expanding so rapidly, but in your head you're only allowed to talk about something that was relevant for you in the past, you're going to get stuck. You're going to get held back. You're going to feel like, but if I change this, then everything's going to fall apart. Make sense? Tracking with me? Okay. Another pattern that I see with the high-level coaches is unwillingness to let go of how they reach their goals. I would still be at the same place I was year one if I didn't shift this, because for sure on year one, and I get that I've grown really exponentially fast, a lot faster than almost anybody I know. Going from nothing to 500,000 in 2 years is astonishing for anybody in this field. And so there's been like a up level, like really, really fast. And in year one, for absolute certainty, I was at the place where I was like, okay, what I know and what I can absorb and what I can regurgitate and recreate is as much success as I can get. Rather than stopping, tuning in, coming from soul, and letting whatever my deep true messages come to the world, and trusting and knowing that as I'm bringing my true gifts to the world, as I'm letting my real voice be heard, as I'm just being Mandy, no different than just being me. I'm just fucking being Mandy. This is who I am, and this is what I bring to the world. And knowing that as I do that, and as I come from a place of service to the world, of course I'm going to be taken care of. Of course I'm going to be taken care of. Life supports life, and as I continue to bring my gifts to the world, I will be taken care of. It's a collaboration. So one of the biggest downfalls I watch with the top coaches in this field, in this industry, that I've had the pleasure of being in their journey with them, is they are too scared to up-level their message, and second is they're really not in a place of letting go of how they hit their numbers, or how they have their success, or how they build their following, or how they're able to even their branding. Even in branding, I watch this happen with the high-level coaches. Right? So you get to know ahead of time, like as you're beginning, or if you're at a coach that you're at that place and the stuff I'm saying is resonating with you, it's like, okay, how long do you want to torture yourself for? That's really all it is. How freaking long do you want to torture yourself for? How long are you going to let it go on and live in freaking Groundhog Day and pretend that you don't know any better? It's bullshit. Can we just admit for 1 second the price that you're paying for doing that? Yes, you get to feel comfortable. Yes, you get to feel like if I just keep doing this thing, I'll just keep having success. Or you could recognize that, like, okay, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over, and like this is safe, and like, okay, I got this, and like if I stop doing one-on-ones and I start doing groups, that's an example of a lot of people in this field with coaches, right? If I stop, like I have success doing one-on-ones, but if I shift into groups, then nobody's going to want to do that. I hear that all the time, right? But it is killing you, and it doesn't feel good anymore. Or like I'm doing enrollment calls, I'm doing like mass numbers of enrollment calls, but it doesn't feel good anymore, but it's too scary for me to do anything different. I'm scared to do something different and shift it because it feels like if I'm already working really hard for this, and if I shift something, the whole sky is gonna fall. Does that sound familiar with everything else in your entire life? If I allow myself to have and do what I really want, what really actually excites me, what really actually lights me up, if I really go for it, if I put both feet in, if I just say fuck it and I do it all the way, if I do that vision I have, like here's another thing, people are like, well, someday I want to do like a live event. Well, why aren't you booking a place right now? Why are we not actually on the phone, booking a place, booking a room, writing a sales page, creating the event, getting all the juices flowing for it, and then putting it out there? Just that one question. Answer that one question for me. If my heart's longing is to do live events and retreats with women, and to help them to understand something and take them through this transformation or create this experience for them, whatever it is. If that's my heart's longing, why the hell have I not booked a location and written a sales page and put an offer out there to the world and picked a date? If I'm longing to get out of doing just one-on-ones and enrollment calls and one-on-ones, if I'm longing to get out of that, why the hell am I not putting a group offer out there? Who cares? Imagine if you put a group offer out there and it flopped the first time, and then you did it the second time, it flopped the second time. That's like everyone's worst nightmare. Oh my God, it flopped twice. Only one person signed up, and then I had to tell them like, yay, you get a one-on-one with me, lucky you. And I do it the third time and I crush it. And now I've shifted out of trading my time for money and I've crushed it. Do you see what I'm saying? So there are people, like when you start to have a level of success, people get afraid to shift it, to change it, to let it grow and let it expand. And guess what, sister? That feels like death. That doesn't feel any different than just not doing it to begin with, because you're trapping yourself again. And you're doing the same frantic, busy work to get yourself to that next level when all you needed to do was believe and do the badass thing and start recreating how you're being seen by your audience, because you're willing to own your highest level self. And what about, let's just take this to one more level. Not only do I want you to actually project the highest version of yourself and call people to that, to your highest vision of yourself, I want you to actually just be honest with your audience on who you are at your next level. What if you did that? What if you were super freaking honest, like, this is my next level and where I'm headed, and this is where I can take you to now, and that's where I'm going, and you just owned it and said the thing. Imagine you just being that vulnerable and that open and that raw and that committed to it. Like, who are you talking to? Yes, just do the damn thing, Amanda. This is such a big thing that I watch with coaches. Hold on, let me make sure I can see all the comments. And here's another thing. Doesn't it feel good to know that the people who are crushing it and making six figures are dealing with the same shit that you're dealing with in the beginning? It just looks a little bit different. Doesn't that feel good? Like, did you know I make $500,000 in my business and I still deal with the same shit that you deal with? It just looks a little bit different on a different level with a little spin of my own shit and flavor in it. Like, did you know this? Did you know it's all the same shit? Yes, that was me. I'll run retreats in 5 years, but why was I waiting? Now my first retreat is only a few weeks away. Because you did the damn thing. You jumped in and you let someone ahead of you coach you. Congratulations, Amanda. And it's been an honor to be in this journey with you. Jesus criminy, right? So what is the message you're bringing to the world? Who the hell are you talking to? Do you know? Are you pretending you don't know? Are you talking to the same person over and over and over, but really you're ready to go to that next level? And by the way, are you being honest with yourself about the cost that it's costing you, the price that you're paying for not actually being brave and doing the damn thing? Are you being really honest with yourself? Like, what is it costing you? What's the price? What is the price for the story you keep telling yourself and not going to that next level? Not allowing yourself to let your message actually transform as you transform and grow, not allowing yourself to call in the high-end people and to call yourself to the highest level. This is why we do the work we do. Because if you woke up every single morning and you called your ass to the highest level version of yourself and you drew in that future you and you pulled her into today and you breathed her in and you felt her and you were her and you chose her right now, which is why I say no time has to pass. No time has to pass. There's no time that has to pass. You just get to be brave enough today to choose it and opt into it today. And know that, of course, as I do this and I follow my soul and my passions, I'm going to be well taken care of. Of course I am. Not the other way around. Oh, well, this is what I need, so I have to do all this stuff to meet that need. Well, you could do that. That's what the rest of the world does, but you don't have to, because I have an inkling that if you're on this message, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Tell me below. Yes, Mandy, I know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. So here's the real question. The real question is not how do I do this and what am I doing wrong and what do I need to do different and what do I need to learn and how do I blah, 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 blah. All the same things that everybody keeps asking. The real question is, what do you need to have the balls to go in this journey both feet in? What do you need to stop pretending like, oh, I'll do this then, I'll start my group then, I'll do this retreat then, I'll run an event then, right? Yes, hell yes, I know what you're talking about. Thank you. I know you do. I know you do. And we're like, you just get to choose to be done with that shit now. The only question you should be asking, like, okay, when I go to invest in something or choose if I'm going to stay investing in something, the only question I ask myself is, do I want to? Not, oh my God, how am I going to make this work? What are the numbers? How much am I making? How much do I have left? But I already did this, but this person screwed me. But what if it happens again? But what if I don't do the work? And what if it doesn't happen? And what if I let myself down? And That's not what I ask myself. The only thing I ask myself is, do I want this? Do I want that resource? Do I want to commit to that level? Do I want the result that I'll get from doing this? Do I want that? Do I long for that? Do I have a longing inside? Do I envision that in my life? Do I envision myself being that woman? If it's a yes, end of story, all done. That's it, I'm in, right? And with my Diamond Mastermind clients today, we were talking about setting goals and how the goal is like, you pick a number for what you're going to reach, right? Like, what are our September goals? We're picking goals, right? And the real question is, how are you looking at that goal? With anything else, how are you looking at your potential clients? How are you looking at who you are and what you're doing? What is your branding? Who are you? How do you envision yourself? Are you calling your ass to more? Are you pulling in future you and making decisions from that place? Because that is how you do it. And it's so safe. I promise it is so safe to live making decisions from what your soul says yes to. How could it not be? If you're longing to run a retreat, it's because you're meant to run a retreat right now. So you tell me, is it safer for you to control that shit and to pretend that you're the CEO of the universe? Or is it safer for you to actually be like, okay, soul, I don't know how this is all gonna work out, but I'm in, girl, let's do this. And like actually take action on it and set dates and make phone calls and create offers and then show up and fucking tell people what your offer is. Which one is safer? Do you really, 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 really want to control that? Do you really? Do you want the result that comes from you controlling that? Is that what you want? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that you're a lot safer on listening to soul, even though it feels scary, even though it feels like I don't fucking know how it's supposed to look like. You're not supposed to know what it's going to look like. Because if you know what it looks like, it's not your journey, it's someone else's. You're only supposed to know the one step in front of you that you're supposed to take. And so, it's just like women who come from really successful backgrounds in the business world who transition into coaching. They're like, I don't understand. I've always been so successful. How come I'm not having success in the coaching field? Because you're not letting go of the safety net and entering into the space of faith, where you're actually using your brain to back up your soul and not vice versa. Letting go of the how is probably one of the hardest things that I ever had to do. And I'm not gonna lie, every once in a blue moon when I'm shifting or up leveling, I go back to the how, and then I'm really convinced, no, but this time I need to know how. It's like, it recycles over and over, like, no, this is the time, like, but this time it makes sense that this is the time I need to know the how. I get that all those other times I didn't, but this time I need to know the how. And I go back to that same thing over and over. And then I get to be like, smack, like, no, it's never that. That feels like shit. That just feels like a bunch of frantic action and doing a bunch of things and looking at the numbers and like, okay, and like feeling the weight of it. So like when I used to set goal numbers, that's what I was telling you guys. I scrolled out. I was talking to my Diamond Mastermind, my inner clients today. We do a training every week. And we were talking about setting the goals, and what I help them to start to see is like when you set a money goal, right? Like my money goal is 100K this month. You could look at that goal and feel like, oh my God, that is so overwhelming. Like, like I did this much work and I hit, 80K last month. And now this month, if I'm going to hit 100K, that's going to be like, oh, I have to do even more work and blah, blah, blah. And that's how people tend to feel when they look at their money goals. And so then you don't look at your money goals and then you wonder why you're not hitting your money goals. How the hell are you going to hit a goal that you didn't even set? Of course you need to set the goal, silly, right? So we set the goal, and then when we look at it, here's the real work. This is the shift, and this is what I see top coaches who are out there crushing it, have massive levels of success. They get stuck at these places. Here's another place they get stuck at. Another place they get stuck at is they look at the next goal and they feel overwhelmed and dread, like they have to do it. It's like they've failed themselves, or they've not reached and attained their fullest potential if they don't hit that goal. And so then it starts to feel like something that's overwhelming and something that they dread and something that feels like a ton of work, which doesn't feel inviting. And just like if I'm trying to get myself into a routine of working out, if what I load up is being like, exhausted and tired and sweaty, and then I have to shower and I have to shower twice and do my hair and makeup, and when do I do my hair and makeup? Trust me, I did all this, right? If that's what I'm loading up, am I going to the gym? Am I freaking working out? Am I gonna work out? No, I'm not working out, because that's what I loaded up. So when you look at your money goals and what you see is a bunch of dread, are you going to actually crush that number? No, sister, you're not. You're not gonna hit that money goal. So the work is like, what is it going to actually, no bullshit, not kidding, really truly take for me to be able to go into the space of tension and exhale. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hire this new person on my team. I'm gonna double what, like, okay, I just hit this new, let's say I just hit 60K months, and now, or let me just use a different number that might resonate with you guys. I just hit 20K months, and now my bills are gonna be 20K because I just hired a new person on the team, like a high-end person to run the rest of the team. And so now I'm just like, I'm back into that space of tension. There's no room again. Like, but you did it because that's who you are, because you're always pushing and living on the edge and going to the next space. So if that's what you did and then you freak out about it, then it's not much fun. But if you just acknowledged and owned who you are, like, I'm the woman who always goes for the crazy shit that I have no idea how I'm going to make happen, but it always happens because I'm in soul and I do the brave shit and I dare to do the brave shit because I have balls like that and I dare to do the brave thing. Of course I get to that next level. Of course I do, because I'm the woman who had the bravery to do it. I had the balls to do the thing. Nobody else. Well, Mandy, if it's so easy, why is no one else doing it? Because they don't dare to. They don't dare to believe that, of course, this gets to be easy and I get to have it and I get to actually enjoy myself while I do it. So the real question is, what is it going to take for you to no bullshit, practice and learn to be in a space of tension where you've committed to something that calls your ass to more in a way that you cannot get out of, and then you learn to actually enjoy that space and relax and have fun and feel expansive and still buy new damn underwear. Man, am I right? And still buy new damn underwear even after I just invested massive levels of myself. You would think, right? Like the first time I invested in a $6,000 a month coach, you would think, her name's Kat, right? That you would think that I would have, when I invested in that, which made me fritz for sure, I'm not gonna lie, I fritzed out for like a month. And you would think that in that space I would have contracted and I would have been like, oh, let's reserve everything and not spend any money. Well, I didn't. I actually went and found the number for a private chef that we were going to hire here. I bought myself new underwear. I actually bought new clothes for the retreat that I was running, and I went and I spent more money because I was in a space of expansion. And guess what? Did I double my numbers? Of course I did. And it didn't matter. It was any stage along the way where my soul called my ass to more, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work out. And I said, fuck it, and I did it anyway. And then I was all in. I made the decision, and then I backed myself and backed myself and backed myself. But I didn't, I used to teach that, make a decision and back yourself, but I actually have, there's a huge third piece missing from that. You make a decision, you back yourself, and then you exhale. Then you fucking exhale. You exhale and you're like, oh my God, this is so much damn fun. Like, this is really living life fully alive. Hey, Sarah, I'm finally here. Do you see what I'm saying? What about becoming easier as we go since we accumulate experience and confidence? Hell yeah, of course, but it gets easier, and then you get bored, and then you're gonna go to the next level and you're gonna do some next crazy shit, because who really wants to just, like, I got to this place where now it's easy and then I'm gonna stay here? Nobody does that. You don't do that. I know you don't. You're not that woman. You're not the person who's like, oh yeah, look, I've mastered this, now it's so easy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make that one stream of income, and then you're gonna create that to be like an auto stream of income or something that's really easy, and then you'll have another extra string of income because you're gonna start something new and do something new, and you're gonna jump bravely into the next thing. Hell yes, adrenaline junkie. It's like if you're going to be someone who's bringing massive healing and transformation to the world, and you have the power to do that, do you really think you're going to sit by the sidelines and just be like, yeah, this is easy, I'm just going to stay here, and you're going to be content with that? I don't think so. So, like, if we can just acknowledge, like, okay, actually that's true, I am that kind of woman, it's who I am. Whether I was getting paid or not getting paid, who the hell cares? This is what I would be doing. For me to have the power to be able to say, hey, if you want massive transformation right now, if you want to get out of that loop and that cycle you're in, if you want to stop staying in the game of like, okay, I have the success, I'm afraid I'm going to lose it, I can't make the wrong move. If you want to stop doing that, I can help you right now. My program has just come out right now. There's information in the comments. It's called Up Leveled on Command. I'm your girl. Let's fucking do this. No more bullshit, right? That's how we speak. That's how we speak. Do you see what I'm saying? That is how we speak. That is what we do. And so, okay, now I'm helping coaches who are six figures, trying to get to multiple six figures, trying to get to $500,000. They want to get away from the one-on-ones. They want to get away from, I'm working so busy, I'm crushing it in my downline, whatever it is, right? I'm doing all these things, and now I really want to learn to enjoy the process, yeah. And my new coaches, I teach them how to do that from the beginning. But the coaches that are having the success, if you think that having more money is gonna make that better, you're so wrong. You think once you hit half million, or 1 million, right? Because I have plenty of peers who are at millions of dollars, and if you think that that's when you're magically gonna just like exhale and like I'm enjoying this process, and now like the reason I started doing this entrepreneur world was for freedom and for expansion and for fun, but now I feel trapped. I feel like I'm trapped in the cycle of having to do. If you think that money is the thing that's gonna change that, you could not be more wrong. I have people who have crushed it in the business world. They're high-level, multi-six-figure earners, sometimes seven-figure earners, and they come into my programs and they have the most limiting money beliefs that I've ever seen. And there's women who don't have a pot to piss in, and they have more faith and more abundance mindset than women with tons of money. Money is not the thing that's going to do it. It's not money. We set money goals because it's an arena for us to challenge ourselves. I will set a high-level money goal that like scares the shit out of me, because there's growth for me between me and that money goal. There's work. There's work for me to do. I'm becoming the woman it took for me to have that, and I have patience and excitement towards it. This is what I was teaching my diamonds today, right? This is like straight my highest level clients. This is what the work we're doing today. Like, okay, what is the money goal, and how are we looking at that money goal? Is it going to drown us and suffocate us? Or are we looking at it like, oh my God, I'm so excited to become the woman that's seasoned enough to make that fucking happen. Oh my God, I was here 2 years ago, and now that's my goal, and I'm becoming that woman, and of course I'll get there. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm okay and available for that happening right fucking now, and we get to choose, call that in, make decisions from that place today, and be that woman today. No time has to pass. You get to choose it right fucking now. This is literally the work that we're going to be doing in the new group that I have coming up. This is it right here, because it's everything. And every once in a while, we do have this really like stubborn pattern. A lot of us have been through a lot of trauma, and we get this stubborn pattern, which is why we're actually doing interventions from the beginning. Reaching down, gently pulling that out with love from the root, and healing it up and sending it on its way, and then having a clear space for a new built foundation, and then fucking crushing it with two different things. And like, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm telling you about this group right now because it's friggin' amazing. I'm so excited about it. It's basically everything I've ever learned in this 1 month that we're doing this together, and you have full access to me and my husband. But like, even besides that, just hear me for 1 second. What really truly needs to happen is both things. It's 80% understanding that this is about learning to lean into the chaos, learning how to exhale in that space of tension, because you're going to keep putting yourself there. You're going to freaking keep putting yourself there, so you get to actually exhale and enjoy the freaking process. That's part of it. The other part of it, which is only 20%, is actually strategy, high-level strategy, and knowing how to actually make power moves in your life. So even if you're not interested in the program, I need you to hear me. The reason why I created the program to be this way is because when you first clear the soil and you do the work to release all that shit that's stuck in the way for you to actually choose those patterns, and then pretend that you don't know what the hell you're doing, pretend it's all so hard, and oh my God, and nobody can afford to pay me, and nobody understands what I'm doing, and I'm not good enough, and I need another degree, and I need another certification, and blah, 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 all that crap, right? We clear that out of the way. Clear that fucking table, right? Then we call in the higher self of us, right? Then we choose what we really actually want, and we have the balls to be honest about what we really want, which, by the way, I know and understand that is really difficult for women nowadays. It is so hard for women to be really freaking honest about what they actually want, right? Yeah, Gina's in the house. Gina says, I'm ready. She's in up level to command. Girl said yes. And girls got balls of steel. That wasn't easy. I know it wasn't. I've been there. I'm so proud of you. And you get to have all the rewards for making that brave leap. So definitely shout out to Gina. Right? Okay, so first we clear that stuff. We be honest about what we really friggin' want. Then we do the work to feel in a space of expansion, because look, does it even make sense to you that if I was scared and I was like, oh my God, my life is so crazy, like how am I gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, what signal are you sending out? Are you sending out a signal like, I'm wide open? I'm here to support, I'm here to help. Are you a strong hand that's there to support the people? And so you're this beacon of light of like, I got you, I got your back, my boundaries are strong, my skill is strong, I fucking got you, let's go, let's do this. Is that the beacon that you're sending out? Or is your beacon like, oh my God, I can't do that, I can't, go away, I can't. That is so the place most people come up, I'm drowning, just need oxygen. Right? Like, that's the signal we're sending out. And then we're like, how come nobody's signing up? Because, girl, you're fucking drowning. That's why. You're fucking drowning. The signal you're sending out is like, I can't handle anymore. So I don't know about you, but the God that I believe in, the universe that I participate in and collaborate with, is the universe that only gives me what I'm truly ready for. It's not going to force something past a boundary that I'm not ready for, that I don't believe I can handle. What would happen? I don't even know. That's scary. What would happen if God dropped shit on me that I couldn't handle? Right? I feel like that's like winning the lottery. Like they win the lottery and their lives go completely to shit. Right? So like you have to become ready energetically and subconsciously and spiritually ready to receive the next level. So that is the next step. Then and only then do we do the high level badass strategy. After we've done those two things first. Do you see? That is the plan. So even if you're not going to join our program, right? Maybe you're in another program, or maybe I just seem like too much for you. Who knows, right? I need you to understand that that's still the plan of action. It's still the plan of action. Be really honest about what feels jarring and stuck and frustrating, and like, okay, and like be honest about what's going on there. Shift into the thing you need to shift. Release and heal. What do you need in order to heal and release that stuff? Maybe it's just validation. Sometimes all you really ever need, I needed that in the beginning. I went through so much shit when I was a kid that I needed someone to tell me, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That shit should have never happened to you. It should have never happened to you. That is bullshit. You were innocent. It's not your fault. I needed to hear that from somebody. I needed somebody to just kind of have a bird's eye view of like, holy shit, you went from that, like all of that happened all the way to 28. Like, I don't even know how you're still alive. That is badass. You're incredible. I needed to hear that. And sometimes that's like, we think that it's some complicated thing, but sometimes you really just need to be validated, and somebody needs to tell you like, girl, you've been through the fucking ringer. You are incredible for being here. I am so honored to be in this with you, to have a glimpse into your world. You're such a powerful, incredible woman, and you deserve so many good things. Can you be ready to receive? Can you be ready to open and actually expect good things to come for you? After all that shit you've been through, can we release it? And can we say, okay, that's the shit that happened then, but I'm not about to take my shitty past and throw it into my future and then have an expectation that that's all that's available for me. What happened back then is not all that's available for you. You get to make decisions right now, calling in the you, right? So you get to choose, like, of course I'm worthy of really amazing good things to happen for me. And because I believe that I'm worthy of having good things to happen for me, I'm now expecting them. And now that I'm expecting them, I'm in a state of expansion and receiving. When I'm in a state of expansion and receiving, I can fucking receive, and I can make decisions, and I can do things that are really brave because I expect good things to happen. You guys have heard that, right? The difference between anxiety and excitement is only a negative expectation. So you're in a state of anxiousness is because you're expecting something negative, and you get to just actually tweak that and shift it right into excitement because you just expected something good. Do you see? And the only reason you didn't back your soul every time it said, hell yes, go do that thing, is because you had a negative expectation. Something from your past, you just took it and chucked it right into your future and said like, yeah, but that will happen again. Why? Have you done this before? Have you backed your soul and gone in all the way and then something tragically horrible happened? If it did, because of course this is life, and if it did, what amazing thing came out of that, because something always does. Everything we've gone through can be changed for our good. You just get to have every fucking bad thing that should have never happened to you get to be changed for your good, because you're just that amazing and that worthy that you just get to have everything happen and shift for your good. Do you understand that? It all gets to be for your good now. You get to just have massive rewards from all of it. That's the way it is. And you just get to choose that. Like, I'm unavailable for anything less than that. Every fucking thing that happens to me, I get to use it to power for my good. That's the way it is. That's just what I choose. That's the universe I live in. That's what it is. That's what the journey looks like. And one of the most important things that I can do for my tribe is to actually help you guys understand what the work is going to feel like and look like. It doesn't look like you sitting at a fucking computer and being like, all right, let me create this new thing, and maybe if I say this right, then people will want to do it, and like, oh, but nobody's joining, and so I'll just say something different. Oh, like, look at this person over there. She said this. That was clever. All right, I'm going to say that, and now maybe if I say this, then they'll follow me, and how come they're not following me? Like, oh my God, people are doing so many things better than me. Like, who am I? I can't do this. Like, that's not what it fucking looks like. Girlfriend, that is not what it looks like. What the work actually looks like is for you to be really honest with yourself about, what am I longing for? What do I really want? Am I being honest with myself, or am I pretending I can't have that so that I don't have to then show up and be brave enough to take action to back it? I really want to run events. I want to run live retreats. I want to run a retreat in Bali. What the fuck are you doing about it? What are you actually doing about it then? What are you doing to have that retreat in Bali? Because it's really not that hard. I run them. I can tell you, it's not that hard. And it's actually really fucking cheap too. So there's really not all that much that needs to be learned for you to do something like that, except for making sure that everybody's safe. That's the most important part. And you can learn that skill, right? You can learn the skill of doing these things. Are you actually starting to learn the skills for you to do the things that light you up the most in your life? Or are you stuck in pretending that all these other things that you're doing is the important shit, because it's not and you know it. You're doing so much stuff that never mattered and never needed to get done. You know how I know that? I know that because you don't have the results that you want. And the results that you want looks like the work of doing brave shit that backs your soul, and then being willing to stay in that tension and breathe through it and have faith and know, of course, God's got your back and you're safe in this journey and it's all going to turn out for your good, and staying there, staying planted, heels in like, I'm in this position and I'm not moving. I'm not moving because I'm backing my soul, and this is where I am. And my soul said yes to this, and I have no idea how it's all going to work out, but I'm doing it. And I'm backing my soul, and I am staying with my heels planted no matter what comes my way. It doesn't matter. This person hurt me. This person screwed me. This person was epic. Oh my God, she's doing amazing. What if I can't be like her? It doesn't matter. Just let it come. Let it go. Keep breathing. Just keep breathing. What is the thing that you need? What are you longing for? And what do you get to do to have that? What are you not being honest with yourself about? What are you not being honest with yourself about? What do you want? You get to have it. You really just get to have it. And I feel like this is my deepest message lately, is like, what if it's not about pleasing everybody else? What if it's not about some rules that someone told you your whole life? What if it's not about any of that? What if the only thing that ever needed to happen was you just needed to be more honest? You just needed to stop lying to yourself and stop pretending that you don't want what you do want. There's a reason I have this on my desk. This is my reminder. I get off track. I get scared. I do dumb shit, and then I get to remind myself, go again, girl. Go, be more honest. What aren't you being honest about? What aren't you telling yourself? What do you want? What are you longing for? What is your vision of yourself in your life? What bad habits do you have that you're not kicking, that you know are taking you down? What is the price of not actually putting your ass all in and really truly going for this? Like, okay, this is terrifying, but I'm doing it. What, and how valuable would it be to learn the skill of being comfortable in that level of tension? Like, I'm always just gonna do crazy, amazing things. I'm just gonna go for it. That thing that I wanna do, I'm just gonna fucking go for it. I'm just gonna literally go for it. And when I go for it, I get to learn to actually be comfortable doing that. Like, what would that do for you? Girl, you just get to have it. Do you understand? Stubborn is a good word for that. I'm so stuck there. In stubbornness, well, you get to shift that, because stubbornness is not a bad quality. It's only bad if you're using it to back your fears and not back your dreams. What would soul have you do? And what if you could just be stubborn about that? I'm pretty damn stubborn. And my stubbornness is like, hey, I'm not buying into the bullshit. I don't believe confusion. I don't believe the story. It's not hard. Yes, people will pay. No, it's not your niche. No, it's not because you didn't know how to do a sales page. No, you don't need to know how to do a funnel or an email list. I had none of that crap, and I had a multi-six-figure business with like literally 30 people investing in my entire business. None of that shit matters. All of it's shenanigans. None of it is true. The only thing that ever really mattered was, what do you feel called to do? Are you being honest about it? What are you longing for? What is your dream life? Are you doing shit to back that up or not? And if you're not, what do you need for support in order to be able to do that? And how are you going to put your ass on the line in a way that you can't turn back from? How are you making a commitment and putting your ass on the line with that one step forward? You don't need to know about steps 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't need to know about any of that shit. What is the one step in front of you that you can do to make a commitment to yourself, to back yourself up, to believe in yourself, to know, of course you got this, girl. Of course you're going to do it, right? Of course you're going to do it. Of course you're going to crush it. And of course, not only are you going to crush it, but you just get to 10x that result. You just get to go to the next level now. You don't even have to wait. No time needs to pass. You just get to choose it, back yourself up, and then take really brave leaps when your soul says yes. Like, there's definitely things like, oh my God, you want me to join a $100,000 program? Like, my soul's like, hell yes, that's what you're doing. I'm like, oh my God, what is this going to require of me, right? There's the shift again. I could get scared, like, oh my God, in order to now also pay for a $100,000 program, what is going to be required? And instantly things come up. Well, you're going to have to be a little more honest about your bedtime and what time you should probably be getting to sleep for you to be on your A game. And you get to grow into all these different things. Do you see? Like, okay, I'm going to make a commitment for a $100,000 program. And instantly I'm like, whoo, well, what is that going to require of me? Like, what does that mean? Like, oh my God, like, right? And then I just get to look at it like, there's my playground. There it is. There's my obstacle course. It's like a big arena, a big playground. There's me. There's what it looks like for me to get to the place where I'm now investing in myself to another $100,000 program. And the woman it took for me to do that easily. That is the journey. That is so different than like, well, let me do all these things and prove to myself that I can do it, and then I'll make the investment. Yeah, I don't know. How's that working for you? How's it working for you? If people ask me, Mandy, what's the one reason that you were able to scale so fast in your business? How did you go to $500,000 in 2 years? Nobody does that. You understand? Nobody does that. Nobody. That is like astonishing numbers. And I know it's not because of me. It's because people told me in the very beginning, Mandy, get a mentor. And so I was like, okay, I got a mentor. And I was like, oh my God, $2,000 a month back then? Like, that was such a big number to me. I had made $400 a week for 10 years. So paying $2,000 a month was like, my brain couldn't wrap itself around it. But I was like, I'm trusting, look, even trusting people. Like, can you trust someone? Can you trust someone who's saying to you like, hey sister, you need to be honest about what you want, and then you need to take brave action to back that shit up. And it's gonna be scary, but then you get to learn how to be content in that fear, in that tension. You get to learn to like actually feel alive in that tension instead of terrified, right? Like, and if someone's saying to you like, hey, I have this amazing program, or I have this amazing friend who's doing this thing, or this person that could support you, or like, hey, this cleaning group is really amazing, whatever it is, like, can you just trust people for 4 seconds? Like, maybe they're not out to get you. Maybe most people in the world are actually really good. Maybe sometimes you're an asshole. Maybe it's you that's the asshole every once in a blue moon and people still love you. Do you hear me? Like, can you hear me? Like, can you have a little bit of faith and trust in people and the process a little bit? Can you take some brave leaps? And if you're telling yourself like, hey, I got this, Desiree, I'm doing all, hell yeah, girl. And what's your next level? Stop fucking around. Like, tell me what your fucking next level is. That's great if you're doing it all, but if you're doing it all, then you are not stretched. You are not going to the next level, right? And I'm not sure if that's what you meant, but this is something I do. So I'm speaking to me as I'm saying this to you. Like, oh, yep, I got this covered. Everything's easy. I'm good. I'm an expert at everything. Then I'm playing slow and low. I am playing slow because I should be stumbling all around. If I am stretching myself to that next level, I am doing new shit that I suck at because I've never done it, and I am stumbling around like a little baby trying to wobble on my legs. Right? Like, that is really a next level. So like, you can just take a measurement real quick. I get to do it all the time. This is why I pull people in my world who are like, oh, I had a 400K month this month. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck? That's amazing. And that just creates tension for me because I'm like, whoo, all right, now that's a goal. Okay, so now I know it's possible. So if it's possible for that person, it's possible for me. And I happen to know that person pretty well. So I also know that they're actually enjoying the fuck out of life. So I now know it's possible to make $500,000 in a month and actually have some fucking fun doing that. So what is your new goal, right? Like, what is that next level? And are you putting yourself in a place where you're learning how to enjoy doing that next level? Woo! What do you want? I'm thinking of The Notebook. You guys know what I'm talking about? Somebody better drop that gif. If Amanda's on here, I know she will. She's the gif queen, right? Like, what do you want? What do you fucking want? What do you want in your life? We have like 3,000 days left. Like, what the hell do you want? And are you doing shit to back that up? Are you actually backing up what you really want? And are you being honest, right? Because maybe I want a boob job someday. Am I being honest with myself, or am I playing demure like, well, I don't know, I'm really just a natural girl and I'm happy and content with my body? Or do I really want the boob job? I don't really know. I just threw that out there because that was one we were talking about the other day with some of my family members. But like, what if I did? Am I being honest with myself? What if I want to live in Bali? Like, am I telling myself the truth? Am I being really honest about what I want? What if I don't want my kids to go to regular school? Am I really telling myself the truth? What if I didn't want to do coaching anymore? What if I just wanted to like abolish my business and do something different? What if I want to be an artist and draw and like become the next Picasso in my own mind? Am I being honest with myself? Like, and what resources do I have in my life? Am I coming up with excuses to not continue with them because I don't want to stay in that tension? Or am I being honest with myself? Like, wait, that tension is really good for me because I'm always being seasoned and growing to the next level as I stay in the tension. What do you want? And are you doing anything about it? And what comes to mind right now? Yes, we're just going to do this right now because that's what I do, right? It's all about instant, like back it instantly. What comes to mind in your soul? Like, what comes to mind? Like, I need what? What is the resource that you need? Does the up level on command group resonate with you? Do you need support? Do you need partner to actually commit to? Do you need to go to your husband and say, hey, when I'm being bitchy, let me know, please. I would like to work on that. Like, what comes to mind for you right now? What is your one next step? And what is the first excuse that comes to mind as to why you can't or shouldn't do that, or why you get to wait, or why you get to do it next week or next month, or after you prove this number to yourself? After this is, I mean, it just kills me, this one. Well, I first need to make my first 10K month before I hire a business coach. Good luck. Good luck. I love you. I wish it worked like that. And good fucking luck, because the same brain that got us into the patterns in life that we have doesn't magically get us out of it. We need someone who thinks differently to call us to that level. This is why we do it together. Do you see what I'm saying? That's my favorite thing about all your wisdom. What's the one next step? I fucking love you. I love you back. Tara and I grew up together. We used to live together in an apartment back in Fitchburg when we both were making friggin' $300 a week. Oh my, how far we've come, Tara. I do love you, sister. So what is it? Let me hear in the comments. Come on, listen. I don't know if you know a lot about neuroscience, but let me just drop this on you. When you say things out loud, or when you type them, when you do something physical for them, it's a different part of your brain that's activated than just thinking about it. Because here's the thing. A decision isn't an emotion that you felt like, oh, I'm going to do this. Yeah. How many times have you gotten hyped up and then not following through with it? Like 7 gabillion times. Right? 7 million times. We all know this. So a decision isn't an emotion that you just like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm all excited. And yes, I'm going to do this thing. Nope, not a decision. That's an emotion. You got excited. That's great. You got excited, but excitement doesn't build businesses. Do you see what I'm saying? It actually has to be a decision. So the first step, like a decision, is actually taking action. So it means like, hell yes, I'm doing this, and then sending the payment, or hiring the support, or your first team member, or whatever the thing is, right? But at least the very first step is to write it in the comments, to type it down, to commit it into the world, to say it to other people, for us to do this together. That is actually really powerful. So go ahead and drop it in the comments. Even if you're on the replay, we're still listening. I'm still listening, girlfriend. Launching a group program. I'm going to launch it right after this live stream. That's my girl. That is my damn girl. Do you see? I'm not even waiting till the morning. I'm doing it right after this freaking live stream. Yes, launching a group program. Everything in between you and the success of launching that group program is all you seasoning becoming more of who you're meant to be. What a freaking amazing journey that is. Like, that is a freaking amazing journey. That is really living. That is like I'm 90 and I'm going to bed in my grave with my soul full. All full, and my body all worn out, because I did life. I fucking did it. I jumped in. I just fucking did it. I just did it. Oh my God, I did it. And then guess what you say after you leap and you're like, oh my God, I did it? You say, oh my God, I did it, because you crush it, because that's the way that life works. Life is rigged for the bold. You have the balls to do it, you get the results. That's what it is. I mean, I wish I could tell you it's different, but it's not. And you don't have to be loud or I hear this a lot too, like, Mandy, you're so animated and you're so, like, I know I'm big and I'm loud, but you don't have to be. I know so many people who are wildly successful who aren't like me. This is just my natural personality. I'm just being me. You get to just be you and jump all in and do the fucking thing the way you want to do it, being you. And then you get to have the rewards on the other side, and you do it until you do it. You pick your goal, you pick that thing you want, and you stay in it, and you don't ever fucking let it go until you have it. That's it. You just stay with it until it's yours, and it will be yours, because everybody else will drop off. The moment it got hard, most people won't even do it to begin with, but then everybody else will drop off when it got hard, but not you, because you'll have actually attached and stayed focused on it like a fucking laser beam, and you will not let it go until you have the result. You will just stay with it until it's yours. So what is it? What is the thing that's yours? This is a powerful move right here. Launched a meditation program to public and oh my God. I already pushed send and sent email. That's my girl. Sarah just joined us in Diamond Mastermind and she's crushing it. Oh my God, Sarah. Celebrating with you and all those kids and the people who are going to get served by you. That is amazing. I'm creating a world where individuals from LGBTQ don't need to come out anymore. They just get to be. Wow, I love that. I was just having a conversation about this yesterday, and the thing I said was like, thank God I don't have to make those decisions, because they are so intense. intense is the word. It's just such an intense world of like, there is no right or wrong. There's just a lot of humans doing human and trying to be healed and happy. I love that, Simona. It's so amazing. Amanda, setting a goal of signing 10 one-on-one clients by the end of the year. Hell yes. And what is your goal for right now? Like, let's say September, right? Because saying I'm gonna have 10 clients by the end of the year, that a lot of shenanigans could go on there. That's powerful. We'll keep that one. And let's also set, what is your goal for September? And like, you're gonna hone in on that, and you're gonna laser in on that, and you're gonna check that every single week, and you're gonna choose to see it as a playground of like, I'm growing, I'm getting better, I'm doing better. In 10 years when I look back, I'm gonna be so proud that I stayed in this right now, right? Like, that's what it looks like. So what is it for September? Like right now, or this week, or the next 2 weeks, or the next 3, or the next 4 weeks?
I want to show them something.
Do you have pants on? Nope, can't show them. My daughter wanted to show you something. She has no pants on.
And just be like this.
No, not with no pants on. Sorry, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna go get shorts on. Can I show you?
Hashtag goals. Yes, you can, baby.
Okay.
My daughter really just wanted to show you something, and she had no pants on. That is hilarious. I'm so glad I noticed she didn't have pants on. We don't wear pants around here often. I have pants on too today. I do. Woo! 2 one-on-one and launch a group in September. Yes, Amanda. Go girlfriend, go girlfriend. Everything that you get to learn to become the woman it took to have that, you get to learn this fucking month. We don't have to wait till the end of the year. Fuck that. Yes, baha, Bailey. That was funny. I love this. I work at Retreat Center, and we're opening the LGBTQ retreat tomorrow, which is one of the most beautiful retreats I experience with the yogis every year. Rock on, sister. Wow. It's so weird. That's just, I was just talking about this yesterday. See, I must be putting beacons out in the world. That like, I do feel so heavy for the LGBTQ community, and just like the complexities of it, and the heaviness of it. And I just, my heart goes out for it, for real. Hell yes. I would love to see a retreat like that. That must be amazing. Okay.
There's 3 things I want to show.
Right here. My daughter's going to show you guys something. Ooh, Simona's got one. Let's see what Simona's goal in a minute.
See, with my head like that, I forgot what goes next. Wait. Hold the drama. I just want to dance. Hold the drama.
High five, baby. Love you.
Love you.
All right, now go in the living room, please.
Okay. Ow!
All right,
Love
let's
you.
see the rest of these goals. Hold the drama. I just want to dance with you. I love her. She has a YouTube channel, just so you know. She is the next, what's that girl's name with the bow tie? Jojo Siwa. She loves Jojo Siwa. And I swear Jojo Siwa is just on the outside what Bailey is on the inside. So Bailey was as Jojo Siwa first. I feel like when Bailey's like, I look like Jojo Siwa, I'm like offended, like, no, Jojo Siwa looks like you. Let's not get this twisted. Nope. Simona, September, start a podcast where people around the world share their story. Yes! My husband just started a podcast. I'm so proud of him and excited for him. Hell yes. Way to go, Simona. Ooh. Make sure you tag me in it, sister. I want to see. I want to hear. I love this. I love this. Everybody's message getting out there. Do you see all the shenanigans that goes on in between? And here's the thing. I'm just going to say, I know it sounds like a sales pitch, and I just don't care. You can believe that if you want to, or you can hear what I'm saying. Just trust me a little bit. This is the difference between doing it on your own and doing it with a mentor who doesn't play into those shenanigans, who's already been where you're at, and who's already gone through that, and already had someone else call their ass to more through all that, right? There's a big difference, and the time amount that goes through and how it feels while you're doing it is significantly different when you have support in a tribe around you, having other women doing the same thing, and someone calling your ass to more significantly. And it's not a should. You don't have to have a should, and it's not a must, and it's not bad if you don't, because if you don't want to, you don't have to. Like, that's just what it is. Like, there's no rules. There's no fucking rules. But if you want to get the fastest results, and you want to do it in a way where you continuously get back on track, and make those power moves without the excuses, that is what you need to get a mentor for. That is the difference. Do you see? Like, it's this right here. This is it. This is the stuff that you start to shift and like get remotivated and get back on track, and you have a bad day and you have some support getting lifted back up, and you have someone being like, that's a bunch of bullshit. Can we stop that? Right? And you have sisters who are doing the same thing, and you do life together. Like, you fucking just get to have that. And it doesn't have to be ACA. It doesn't have to be me, but you just can, like, can we be open to receiving that I get to have that? Like, I get to have someone really supporting me and calling my ass to more, and I get to have sisters doing this with me, and we get to do life together, right? Like, just Can you be open to receiving that to begin with? Can you believe that that's available for you and you get to have it and it doesn't have to be stressful to have that? Sarah and I will have a group by the end of September and do it until, look, the first time I ran my group, did you know, freaking, what's her name? I always forget her name. B School. I always feel bad that I forget her name too. Of course I forget her name. The woman who runs B School, which is like one of the biggest business, whatever, online programs that there are. Everybody and their mother promotes it. Like everybody promotes B School. And so I guess she does a really high, like rate for people that promote it. So Marie Forleo, thank you, Gina. So Marie Forleo launched B School the same week I launched my very first ACA program. So here I am like, of course my pattern's like, well, who the hell do you think you are starting an online school? Like, you were the welfare girl, blah, 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 right? So like my pattern is kicking my ass and then Marie Forleo launches B School. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I ever going to blow? And then I was like, block, because I had mentors at the time and sisters doing it the same. And so of course I blocked that out. I chose not to focus on that and I just stayed focused on like how excited I was to bring this to the world. The very first time I ran an ACA group, it was a Zoom where we were all together and I live coached the girls. So that, and we do that every month, once a month now, because we loved it so much. We do it in the Diamond. We brought it back because we missed it. We're all together on a Zoom and I'm coaching people live. So you're hearing and absorbing the skill of high level coaching and you're hearing me live coach everyone. And you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that in myself. And sometimes like at the retreat, we just did a retreat in Sarasota. A lot of the times a girl will be like, I couldn't see it in me, but I can see it in her. When she's saying, and I can see the shenanigans going on, but I couldn't see it in me. Like I'm running the same story, but I can see it when she's doing it. And like, it's so valuable to do that. So, we did that every single week for 12 weeks in the beginning. Every single week for like 4 hours. That was some committed fucking girls. Yeah, Amanda, it was amazing, right? We like some committed girls in there, like spending that level of time together. It was really freaking epic. It's not really, I can't do 4 hours every single week that way, but I do it once a month with the Diamond Girls and it's really powerful. What's Craig's podcast name? I'll go subscribe. It's the same as my, hold on one sec, let me find it. Unfiltered, unedited, Unleashed. Life Unleashed with Craig Perry. That's what it's called. It's so good. He's such a natural on video and on podcast. He's such a natural. All right, let me come back and find you. I love Marie. I don't know her personally. I just know she runs B School and I have like friends who are friends with her, but I've never met her. I don't know her. She's probably awesome though, because she's a woman doing her damn thing, and they all are. Anyone else? Last chance. What is your commitment? You get to say it out loud, and when you do it, it brings power to it. It's like telling the universe, I'm serious now. Like I'm serious. It's the same thing when you invest. Like when I invested in my mentor, like I'm serious. I'm ready to go to the next level. And of course, everything started to shift the second I did that. And it wasn't like I didn't start making more money for a while. There was so much growth that needed to happen. But of course, I was well taken care of the whole entire time. And then I went through the seasoning, and then I became ready for those next levels. And then of course, I hit the numbers with the next levels. Gotta do a live, day 34, I'm charged. Yeah, Sarah. Unleashed is a word I use in my branding too. Badass, thank you. Yes, I did this whole, him and I sat, and like I was doing the, if you go on my website, mandyperry.com, and you go to the free trainings, one of them is a webinar that I do that's actually, there's a lot of powerful stuff in that webinar. And it's called Life Unleashed webinar. So I sat there and we just came up with all these names and it was like, no, it's Unleashed, like that, like, hi, Mandy Unleashed. Yeah, those words go together, right? Like unfiltered, unleashed, those are definitely like resonant with me. And so he loved that one and we picked it together. And so when he did his podcast, he still loved that one. So he just used that one still. I get confused and vague about what I want a lot of the time. Mamma mia! That was good. I get it, Gina. And it's bullshit. I have to call myself on it too, right? Like, so it's a procrastination pattern. It's just, it's like it's a socially acceptable way to procrastinate on doing the brave work. Because when we say to other people, like, I'm confused or I don't know, they're like, oh yeah, like we believe it, like that's a thing, like that's a real thing, but it's not actually a real thing. It's just not a real thing. There's no such thing. It's like saying my soul's broken. It's not broken. It's just a weird habit that we have of pretending that we don't know what we're doing or that we're confused, but really we're not confused. So the question to ask yourself is like, what do I know? But here's the thing. You aren't confused, but you might not be in the practice of owning what you do know, right? So like you get to ask yourself like, what do I know? And what do you want? If you can't say specifics around what you want, which I actually understand, that was very hard for me. So I just started with getting really honest about a feeling. Like, what do I at least know I want to feel? Not, well, I just don't want to feel this, or I just want the kids to shut up, and I just want a glass of wine, or I just want a day off, or I just don't want it to be this hard. None of that shit. That's what I did in the beginning too. It's more like, I want to feel free. I want to feel free. Great. Free in what area of your life? Well, I want to feel safe, and I want to feel free, and I want to feel like I'm allowed to be happy, and things are allowed to be good. I want to feel safe if things are good. Okay, keep going. What else do you want? Well, I want to have more friends. I want to have friends that are doing this kind of work that I'm doing. I want to have like-minded people in my world and people that tell me, fucking go for it, Mandy. Nobody said that to me. Everybody like, don't do that. Every single person in my life was like, this is crazy, don't do that. Every fucking person. Imagine the balls it took when everyone, you don't have to imagine, I know you know, because you're probably in the same exact life. Everyone around you tells you not to. I just wanted people in my life who told me, fucking go for it, do it. You got this, man. You can do this, right? So I wanted more like-minded friends. Like, what else? Well, I really wanted someone to call me out on my bullshit. Someone who knew me and knew my story. I wanted validation, right? So like, I just started being really honest about what I wanted. Like, what if all of that was okay? What if you're allowed to have all that? And then it's like, great. Like, what in my life feels really jarring and hard for me? Well, this does. Great. Like, what honest conversation. It was really like, well, I needed to set a boundary. I needed to say no. I needed to say, no, I need this time. I'm sorry. I'm going crazy. My brain is fritzing. I need time away. I need quiet space. I need fucking quiet space. So then I started with a crown. You can ask my husband. He's right there. I started with a crown. I would wear a crown so the whole family knew, like, this is quiet time. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. I need space. My brain needs to unwind. I need to use it for myself. So I'd wear the crown and everyone knew, like, leave me alone. And that was really challenging for me. And I picked a crown because when I grew up, it was always like, princess was gross. Like I'll never call my daughter a princess. My daughter is the queen. No, I was so disgusted by princess and queen stuff. Like, it was so disgusting to me. Like, ew, that's so, like you're so caught up in yourself and it's so vain, and I'm so much more down to earth. I'm a tomboy. That was like my whole story growing up. So I chose that on purpose because it was really challenging a pattern of me not being worthy to have that space to myself, because it felt selfish and it felt like I was hurting my kids, or I was taking away from something important, or something bad was going to happen if I wasn't eyes wide open, which is just trauma. So much bad shit had happened. I felt like if I ever didn't pay attention for 2 seconds, something horrible was going to happen. Right? So yeah, I just wore the friggin' crown and I started learning how to actually like set boundaries, and this is all the process. So you want to pick your number, you want to pick your goal, you want to invest in a mentor. For me, having that $6,000 payment that I make every month is really good for me, because it's like a measure of like, how am I showing up in life, and what is stopping me from being in a space of flow and excitement and being lit the fuck up, so that I'm actually crushing life, so that is no big deal. The 6K is just no big deal. And it's like a really good measure for me. So what's required of me is to set really powerful boundaries, to be really honest about what I want, to give myself those things, to allow myself time and space to come back down and reground, where I'm actually cooking food, I'm actually moving my body, right? Like, these are so amazing. These are such powerful things. How blessed am I to have an opportunity for something that reminds me to stay in the highest version of myself? Because if I decide to shit out, then I don't get to have that thing I want anymore. And I was honest about myself that that's what I really want. So that means I get to call myself to that level. And it doesn't happen before. You're not magically going to show, like, you guys get this, right? Like, do I need to say this to you guys? And people in the replay, like, you're not going to magically shift into the highest level version of yourself just where you're at. Like, so Einstein told us this, right? Like, the same brain that was thinking its way into this mess isn't magically going to think yourself into a different place. Like, it's not possible. The way that it's wired right now for you to think, and your belief systems and the way you're showing up and what you have wired is what it is. And until you have some support shifting that to a different level, and I'm not just saying like you have to pay for a mentor. That's not what I'm saying. You probably do, because you're here, and so you're probably doing this work and you probably need a fucking mentor. But it could be a therapist, or it could be hiring a nanny, or cleaners, or it could be whatever it fucking is right now. You know what it is. It could be having sex with your husband. I don't know what it is, but it's something. And it's not just you going to your own devices and magically showing up differently for a significant amount of time and like actually changing that long term. Like it's not gonna fucking happen. I see people all the time just sort of circle around me and circle around my work and my life, and they keep saying, when this happens, I'll do that, and when this happens, I'll do that. And like, I get it. I know you won't, because you would do it now if you were gonna do it. That's what it is. No, you're not. You're not going to. And you can keep like dabbling, and that's okay, because you'll keep getting dabbling results, or you can fucking jump the fuck in. Jump all the way in, over your head, jump the fuck in, and learn how to swim. And then you're like, oh, I didn't have to like put my toe in, and then put my ankle in, and then get up to my knees, and then I gotta put my crotch in, that's scary, like, oh, it's freezing, oh, then I gotta put my boobs in, that's even colder, and like, oh, it's like all torture, and okay, now I gotta figure out how to learn how to swim, and where's the shore, and like, yeah, if that feels inviting for you, you get to, because maybe that's inviting, maybe it is inviting, and that's okay. And don't pretend that that's fucking leaping in, because it's not. Don't. And when you keep telling yourself, oh, when I do this, then I'll do that, it's a crapshoot. It's a crap. I watch peers do it. I watch friends do it. I watch clients do it. I watch people do this consistently. And it really helps me. I'm not gonna lie. It helps me, because I'm like, Mandy, don't fucking do that. You're not that girl. You're not gonna be the girl putting her toe in the fucking water over and over and over and over, torturing myself and never fucking jumping in, or putting my head underneath the water so that it feels good. You're not that fucking girl, right? And so it really serves me to watch other people do this. And there's no judgment, because there's no rules, and there's no should, and there's no one path for everybody. What I do know, though, is there are people who keep saying to themselves, when I do this, then I will get support. Well, how the fuck are you going to do that if you don't have support? It doesn't even make any sense. No, stop it. Stop it. What's going to be required is for you to be really honest about what you're doing right now, right? Like, yes, I'm actually launching the group. Yes, I'm actually booking the place for the retreat. Yes, I'm actually saying yes to this mentor and jumping in. Yes, I'm doing the thing, whatever I feel called to do. There is no rule. Do you see? It's only what soul calls you to do. And you say fucking yes, and then you jump in, and then you feel all the tension, and then you learn to get comfortable in that tension. How are you going to learn to feel comfortable in that growth space where you're growing and expanding if you never do it? You think there's a way that you can sit in your pretty little chair with your pretty little butt and you can magically learn to be comfortable in that state of expansion if you never enter into it? No. 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 No, 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 no. You won't magically get the courage, you won't magically get the wisdom, and you won't magically get the stamina to go into the growth space just from sitting there waiting for something to happen or doing tasks. The only way to build stamina to be in the growth space is to go into the fucking growth space. Do you see? You get it, right? Tell me if you understand. And we talked about this a lot at the retreat. The most high-level skill that you could ever develop is the skill of being comfortable in the growth space. End of story. There is no higher level. And I say this with complete awareness that in 10 years I'm going to be like, there's a higher level. But to my wisdom, there is no higher level than being able to lean into the chaos and being able to be comfortable in the growth space, because what else is there? Means you can back anything soul says and you can enjoy the process. That is the ultimate life right there. That is it. That is everything. It's starting to feel good to sit in tension. Amazingly enough, I just need to do it more. Gina gets it. Thank you. Yes. Yes. And it's like, unfortunately, here's the weirdest thing. I'm going to say this. The only people who dare to tell you that are the people who also are selling things to help you be in that growth space, which can sometimes feel like a trickery or like I'm being sold something, or it's like some kind of sales trick. It's what I thought. I was like, this is bullshit. And then I thought about like, but who else would tell me? Who else could ever tell me? And if I understand how to help you do that, why wouldn't I have an offer for you? That none of it. So like, then I was like, wait a minute, on what circumstance on the planet could any human being ever help me to see that and understand that and be challenged to go into that space without actually giving me a space to go into? And I was like, oh, I was like shooting myself in the foot by just being cynical. I was just being cynical because so much bad shit had happened and I hadn't learned how to trust again. So I was being cynical. And I get it, I do. But like, if you think about it, who else is going to do that? Who else is going to help you to see that? How could they help you to see it without having a space for you to go into? It doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. Way to go, Gina. Hell yes. That is a high level skill. And if anyone else has an idea, because I've been really frustrated and curious about, not frustrated, but just like kind of like, somebody tell me. Like, Is there any higher level skill than that? Because I cannot think of one. I cannot think of any other skill that I would long to excel at more than that, because there's nothing I cannot do. Sky is the limit with that skill, and it was all because I dared to jump in the very beginning, having no clue how it was all going to work out. And then I backed myself and backed myself and backed myself. And the second that got easy, I went to the next level. And then I backed myself and backed myself. And the second that got easy, I went to the next level. And I just leveled myself again. Like, we moved to Florida. My whole family is in this tropical place. We used to live in Rhode Island. We lived in this beautiful home. My stepdaughter lives with us now. I've hired her for the business. I have family working for me. My husband quit his job and joined the business. These were scary as shit. They were so scary to do these things. My God, it was terrifying until I decided it wasn't terrifying, and it all just got to be easy, and it got to just be part of this amazing process, because it's all shit that I wanted, right? And so, like, we got here, and obviously I went through this transition phase, and I up-leveled again. Like, that's just what it is. That's what I'm going to choose to do always, and I get to do that because I continuously put myself in a position making commitments that I couldn't back out of, and then I was required to show up and make it happen, which is what you do. When shit hits the fan, who do they go to? You. And then what do? You make it fucking happen. So you already know that you know how to do that. Now you just get to actually do it. You just get to do it, right? So, as I said before, it's in the chat. It's in a pinned post, up-leveled on command. You can PM me if you're interested. It is a 30-day one-on-one. You get a deep intervention, like an actual intervention to work out the pattern, NLP style, to work out the pattern of any kind of routine that you have stuck, or any deep-seated thing that's coming up and blocking you over and over. Diamond Mastermind girls, you get a one-on-one for this. You guys get this. Well, obviously, my Diamond girls get access to everything. And then we have a group, and this is how it works. You're going to get the intervention. We're going to clear the grass, clear the ground, get it ready for soil. We're then going to work through the patterns and the mindset to build this and shift this, to pull in the future you. And then I'm going to teach you the highest level strategies that I know in the business that I haven't even had a chance to teach my diamonds for. So basically, this is a big part for them too. The highest level strategy that I know once that work is done. Not for 1 second would I fucking teach you the stuff before that stuff's done, because you'll just be overwhelmed and frustrated, and then you'd be pissed at yourself because you didn't follow through with it, and then you'd be just another thing you failed at and was judging yourself for. So screw that. Right? So that's what this is for. It's not for the people putting their toes in the water. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not judging you if you're that person, but this is not for you. Okay? Like, that's just what it is. There's only 10 people allowed in this. It's for the people that are all fucking in, ready to enter the growth space, ready to feel this, and ready to really do the work to challenge us. It's 28 days to life transform. Literally transform everything and pull in instant results. Like now, not later. We're booking the fucking retreat and building out the retreat. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying retreats for everyone. I'm just saying that's the example to use. I'm telling you, we're not waiting. It's not like after this month, we're fucking doing the thing. And nothing will stand in a way, because we're removing every single roadblock to get there. I have never been this excited. I always feel like I say that about every group. Maybe it's true. Maybe I really am just that excited for every group. But I am so excited about this group. It is my highest end offer that I've ever offered to anyone ever. My Diamond girls will be in there with you, and then we have only 10 spots, and because you're going to literally get one-on-ones, full access to me and my husband. Like, literally, you can message me, full access 24/7 for these 28 days. We are literally doing this step by step, every step of the way with you guys, and it's going to be epic. End of story. It is going to be friggin' epic, and it is what it is. It's all in or nothing. End of story, right? Whew. Makes so much sense. Yes, Gina. Oh. And feel free to teach this now. Feel free to teach your audience the same thing about being brave, because when you teach it, it goes into your subconscious even more. I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, don't teach my shit. I mean, don't use my exact words. I'm like, don't rip off my shit. But who would do that? That's gross. You'd feel gross if you did that anyway. Teach this. It's like AA, right? Like, so when you're AA, you learn the skills, and I'm not promoting AA, I'm just saying it's brilliant, right? You learn and you get healed and people help you, and then in order to stay sober, you keep continuing to help other people. Like, that's a big part of it. So if you have your own filtered, or if you have your own version, not filtered, definitely not fucking filtered. If you have your own version of the same thing, like, tell your audience, please spread the message. Like, this is just us doing it together. There is no competition, there is no comparison, there is no nothing. There's just truth, and then us sharing it from our heart and calling people's ass to more. That's all there is. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Chloe. I just happened to see you. Hey, Mary. Any other questions? Woo! Do you guys feel like that all the time too? I just freaking love life so much. It is so amazing and so intense and so epic and so incredible, and then I just get to keep meeting more and more incredible people and like being part of their journey, and I love it. Like Gina, I'm so excited to get to know you. I'm so scared and so excited. Can't wait. Come on, ladies. Yeah, Gina's calling your ass into the group. Yeah, girl. High five. Oh, okay. I love you guys so much. Have a fantastic night. I thought this was Memorial Day, then I found out it was Labor Day. I was laughing because Memorial Day is when we opened the pool, so that didn't make any damn sense. Then I realized it's Labor Day, so happy Labor Day. I didn't take the day off because I didn't want to. I freaking love my life and I love my job, and I was like, I don't want to not do coaching today. That would suck. Oh yeah. Okay, I love you guys so much. Have a fantastic night. PM me if you're interested in the new group. And yes, of course, people always ask me this, so I'm just going to cover it. If you join the Diamond Mastermind, yes, you get access to the group. Everybody gets, like the Diamond Girls get, it's just high end, low end, it doesn't matter. They have access to every single thing that I do, end of story. They're like doing life with me. Like these are my friends, they're my people, they're like my family, right? So like they just get access to everything. It would like me not inviting my best friend to like some fun thing that we're doing. That's what it would feel like for me. And that was taught to me, by the way. Did you hear what I said? They're like friends. Like there was such a, I'm not going to get into this whole thing because I'll just start another tangent, but I was really taught by like my first mentor and like the people around me in like this business world, like protect your downline, and it's like competition and cutthroat and like don't touch my shit and don't copy my shit, and like you have to keep this veil between you and your clients, and they're like you can't be friends with them, and like I just bought into it because I didn't know any better. And thank God I opted out of that and into a different arena of people. And in this, we just do life together. We're genuinely friends and we develop relationships. And yes, we still have a mentorship. And yes, of course, I still create a space for people to come into, to challenge and go into that growth space and commit to it. Yes, Jamie, over that mentality. Jamie was there. She knows. And I opted out of that and opted into this life where like we really fucking, there's no competition, there's no comparison, there's no veil that I hide behind for my clients. It's like I'm here and anything you want to know I can tell you, and there is no hiding, and my diamonds have access to me, and like it's a genuine friendship developed, and like how much better that feels when it's like I'm just doing life with other women, and it didn't, just because like they're paying me and I'm their mentor doesn't mean we couldn't have a friendship and we can't be close and we can't do life fucking together, and I can't cheer for them, or I can't let people know what really goes on in my life because I'll lose credibility, and all these stories, or like I have to like tell people like don't copy my shit, like just all of that world. It was so gross. I hated it so much. And so I don't know how that just came up, but it just did. Really, this is just a journey of doing life together. Yes, friends, Jamie, sister, I love you. It's really just like we're just fucking doing life together. That's it. Like we're just doing life together. So now there's people in your life who say, fucking go for it, do it, and knock it the fuck off. And that's like you're spinning a pattern, and like this is how we do life together. We meet up around the world, and we go to Bali and to Maui, and we just do life together. And we track with each other, and we watch each other grow and expand and hit the new levels together. I have friends now that I've gone from 20K months to 30K months to 40K months, like, and we've like grown together and like been in this journey together, and it's so epic and powerful. So yeah, that's for real. Totally friends. Mary, another person I started out as friends, and she's one of my diamond girls. Like we just do life together. That's just how it is. And it was sticky and like confusing at first, and like I didn't know what the line was, and I didn't know how to do it. And then I just always just went back to the space of like, what do I want? What do I want? Like I want to be friends with them. I want to only have clients that I can give access to me, and I know they won't take advantage of it, or they won't like, you know, do whatever stuff was scary at first, and like they're gonna take me down with them and all this other bullshit. Like it was really awesome, beautiful transformation. So I'm just gonna throw that out there for anyone who feels like it has to be the separation, or like, what is this doing life together thing? It literally is just doing life together. Like I can be someone's mentor and still be their friend and travel life together and do life together and track with them and just be excited and love every second of it. It just gets to be that good. End of story. Done and done. End of story. It just literally gets to be that good. That's it. I have no idea how that came up. I don't remember, but yes, that. Okay. I love yous. I can't wait to hear from some of you for joining us in the Upleveled On Command group. I know it's going to be an epic group of people. I'm really excited. It's going to be a small group too, so I'm really excited about it. Love you. Have a fantastic Labor Day, Memorial Day. I think it's Labor Day. Have a fantastic Labor Day. Sleep well. I love you guys. Talk soon. Love you, Tara. Good night.